Hello and welcome back to the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. We are now well into 2.5 content, and we're going to attempt the first of two hard mode dungeons in this patch. This is going to be Amdapor hard mode. As one of the latest pieces of content, this is one where your gear really isn't going to make as much of a difference as it would in earlier dungeons, but this is still not particularly difficult. There's only two, so I'm not going to waste a bane on them. I will burn that, though. We'll get this done quickly. Alright, there are a lot of doors that are basically going to be guarded by plant enemies, some of which will spawn adds like that. So wait to use your AoE moves until the adds spawn. Focus down the main enemy itself, because the adds are usually a lot easier to kill, but we'll keep spawning as long as the main enemy is alive. Once again, only two enemies, really not worth banning. But I'll start using Fester. Alright, this next corridor has a bunch of vines that will drop down and hurt anything in its path, including enemies. So if you're tanking, you might consider pulling the enemies into the paths of those vines. But we're playing this dungeon rather conservatively, which again, no problem with that. Alright, so the tank is pulling the enemies into the path of the vines. You'll notice they're getting vulnerability up stacks, which is an effect of these vines. Try not to get hit by them yourself, however. That Ochu over there is going to be another instance of a central enemy that you have to kill that is going to be spawning adds. Again, some tanks will pick up that whole group and then tank them with the Ochu. It just really depends on how confident the tank is. Alright, looks like, yeah, there's going to be more enemies here. I'll go ahead and bane them. He's going to cast Swarm again, which is going to get more of those leaf miners out. Oh, we got it off before he managed to summon the leaf miners. That's great. I believe we're at the first boss now. Yes. Alright, so this guy... It's been a long time since I played, so I'm going to try to remember all the mechanics. One key is these 4 statues here. if you get there's a mark you can get that you'll need to get behind the statue if you're marked. But we'll deal with that as it comes. Alright, so yeah, the statues, as you can see, are targetable. Well, they're not targetable, but they're considered enemies on the field, so... Okay, if you get marked like that, get behind a statue. He's going to shoot a laser beam at you, and the laser beam will destroy the statue instead of you. Now, stay away from the statues otherwise, because I believe other attacks will hit this guy. Or, I'm sorry, other attacks from this guy will hit the statues, and you don't want them to. Because you want the statues to be up to protect you if you get targeted with the laser beam. So just try to stay out in the open. Have enough health. That's why you gotta worry about the statues. As you can see, I got some rather nasty debuff stacks. That was definitely a mistake on my part. I really should have gone for another statue. And yeah, if you get marked, keep an eye on the health of the statue that you're retreating behind, lest that happen to you. Alright, so the second section, you got some Marlboros to worry about. And by now you should have faced plenty of these, including the ones in Ormvale. So you know full well to stay out of their bad breath attack. And here they come. Alright. Oh, we're making a bigger pull here, too. The Foxglove is... Excuse me. Foxglove is another enemy you gotta worry about. As like he's gonna basically be throwing those poison puddles throughout the room, and you don't want to be in those. Alright, that treant over there is another enemy that is going to keep summoning ads. So looks like we're not engaging them quite yet. We're going to take care of these Lord Stools first. Treant is gonna, yeah, there we go. It's gonna summon ads. Yeah, they all decided to like me because they all spawned right into my shadow flare. Oh, there's another Marlboro we gotta worry about. Or Marble. Alright, so it's the same kind of group as the one in the earlier room. Foxglove, enemy, and a Marble. And some other various ads. I think we're fairly close to the second boss now. Oh no, we gotta work our way through this section here first. Which, it doesn't matter which way you go, both paths lead to the same thing. And this is going to be an encounter, much like the last one. Get out of those, though. Again, fortunately these ads go down very quickly, so the treant is what you gotta worry about first. And there is the second boss. Oh yes, this one, the Boogeyman! So, the Boogeyman has a few interesting mechanics to worry about. When the fight begins, an ad called Luminescence will appear. Go ahead and ignore it for now, though it will come into play later in the fight. Keep attacking him until he goes invisible. Then you want to switch target to the Luminescence. I'm not going to bother using dots, just gotta go down quick. Then stand in that section to become irradiated. Look for the shadow of the Boogeyman. When your irradiated buff goes off, it will shoot off a wave of light, which, if you're standing next to the Boogeyman, he will become visible. Oh, and kill the ads. And entrance, that big old cone AoE is also a gaze attack, so just don't be looking at him when that happens. When you get him down far enough, he'll create a doppelganger of himself, and then go invisible again. Alright, once you become irradiated, kill off the first Boogeyman. The other one is still invisible. I didn't manage to find him, so I was going to worry about taking care of this guy first. But that's alright, now we have a second Boogeyman who has very little health, because when he splits into a doppelganger, he evenly divides his health between both of them. Alright, there he is. So yeah, either get out of that cone, or just be looking away from it if you can. And that's all you need to know for that one. Alright, so use the ethereal flow to get to the third section of the dungeon. Oh yes, this part. As soon as somebody activates the Fell Orb, a timer is going to start counting down, and basically you're going to be trying to take out all of the trash in this room before the demon walls close in on you. So this is a timed event. Kill all the enemies within the time limit, and you pass immediately to the final boss. So use as many AoE attacks as you can, Bane everything. There's really no need to hold anything back here. You just want to kill things as quickly as possible. Even though this is one of the highest level dungeons and item level requirement dungeons in the level 50 sequence, you can still be much better geared than the minimum eye level in this dungeon. So these trash pulls really aren't that big of an issue. When the dungeon first came out, it was very possible to reach the time limit. See, we still have a minute and a half. The good news is, however, if you do run out of time and get killed by the demon balls, and you come back, you actually pick up from where you left off. So all the enemies that you killed on your first attempt stay dead. So you can just keep trying it as many times as you want until you've killed everything. And you don't actually lose any progress. But nowadays, it's very easy to kill everything before time runs out. And that's all she wrote. And now we move into the end boss. Since this group tends to be a little more patient, we'll watch this. See one of the creepiest enemies in the game. Not quite as creepy as Etta, but Ferdiad's pretty nasty. Alright, so Ferdiad's got some mechanics to worry about. And the main thing is, when ads appear, they must die. Right the heck now. But as a caster, you're going to want to stay on the outside of the arena as much as possible. Alright, when he starts casting Wild Card, you need to kill ads. Because he's going to start, basically the Wild Card is going to start centered around him, and it's just going to keep growing. Once you kill all 3 ads, it will stop growing, and you'll be able to survive it. If you don't manage to kill the ads before wildcard cast, it'll cover the entire arena, and you're going to get hit by it, and probably killed. Alright, so when he summons one of these separation ads, it will freeze somebody in their tracks, and then Ferdiad will go up to them and try to cast the Jester's Reap ability. You need to kill the ad to free your ally so that they can get out of the way of Jester's Reap. If you get hit by Black Wind, get away from where you were standing, as because that blade is going to start spinning around, and that will hurt you if you keep standing in that area. So just know, if you get hit by Black Wind, don't stay where you are. Okay, separation. Now, you notice I'm bound, but I can still attack. So you can attack the separation that is binding you. Alright, he's going to cast Wild Card again. And you'll notice this time the ads are the separations. Or a couple of them are, anyway. There we go. See, that got a little closer. But we still managed to survive. You'll notice he's also not taking any damage right away. Wild Card does make him invincible while he's casting it. Alright, Black Wind, get away. There you go. Oh. Alright, now this one, the Cankerous Goblet, or Gobbet, is, not Goblet, it's a Goblet. The Cankerous Gobbet will actually make you unable to attack. So, if somebody gets affected by that, you need to get them out, because they're not going to be able to get themselves out. Oh. That was trouble, because we had the AoEs coming and I got hit by Black Wind. Good thing we killed it. Because I was going to get hurt there. Well, that was a good run. And there you have it. That's Amdapor Keep Hard mode. Generally a good one to run if you really need tomestones, because you get a lot from it. Alright, so that's it for that. 2 more dungeons and 3 more trials to go in the level 50 content. Oh, by the way, that's not the last you'll see of Ferdiad. But that will come later when we get into the level 60 content. So, until the next time, have a wonderful day.